Hello gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video I want to talk to y'all about Khazan, the first berserker. However, if you want to stay up to date on all things the first berserker Khazan, make sure you are liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and let's go ahead and get on into today's subject. So, for those who don't know, the first berserker Khazan has had a demo out for a little while now. If you guys still haven't played it, the game launches next week, and there's also still the free demo out on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. There's a couple bosses you can face in the demo and all kinds of stuff, different loot and gear and collect and things like that. Now, the cool thing you may not realize about the first berserker Khazan is you look at the gameplay right away and you're just like, another Souls-like, kind of, in like an anime style and stuff like that. This is actually a game that takes place in the Dungeon Fighter universe. So yes, that's right. We are actually getting another Dungeon Fighter game besides DNF Duel on console here in just a little bit less than a week. And when you say it like that, I could not be more excited. There's so many different kind of awesome things in here. The game has fun combat. The game has, tons of customization for your main character, your armor, your build, your weapons, stats, and all kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, you can't customize the character himself, which is, kind of a bummer, but, the game has a set story. There's a main character to it and all that stuff. Just being a game that's inspired off of a MMORPG, I was just hoping for a little bit more customization. And one other thing I was hoping for was multiplayer. I do kind of feel like Nexon and the developers of First Berserker, I do feel like they kind of missed an opportunity with this game, because one thing that appeals to me a lot with Souls-likes, or at least me personally, I'm an MMO guy at the end of the day, so, I like my games online, I like to play with multiple people and stuff like that, is I feel like they've missed a lot of potential with multiplayer. And I think, when it comes to these games like this, Lies of P, and a lot of these Souls-likes where you play this preset main character that's not customizable, I think a lot of these developers get in the mindset of, oh, well, we can't have multiplayer because, the story is based on this one character. And a lot of these games, they'll add like these, these shadow phantom things and, that can help you fight bosses and stuff like they did in Lies of P. You could always summon the phantom. Why not just let the other players show up in your game as the Phantom or the Spectre, or something like that. First Berserker doesn't use this period, but I'm just saying, it would be an easy way to implement multiplayer in these games, where there's a set story and a set character and stuff like that. Just, if that's the excuse that a lot of these developers are using when it comes to these games. But those are two opportunities I think they missed with the first Berserker. However, the things I'm excited about are the lore, the gameplay. Now, guys, like I was saying before, this is a Souls-like. Alright? Now, I know that may bother some of you. Not everybody's into Souls-like games, these slower-paced, tactical, and methodical combat and stuff like that, the stamina bar systems and yada 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 at the end of the day. But this one also has a difficulty option. Meaning, yes, you can simply put it on easy and you can play it more so like a typical action game. Now, I'm not saying, if you put it on easy, you'll be able to breeze through every boss and everything like that. But it'll be more so something on probably like a level of like, maybe Stellar Blade or Devil May Cry or, or Bayonetta or something like that, instead of just feeling like a hardcore Souls-like game. And I think, that'll be a really cool way to entice people into these kind of games, because let's say, you're a big fan of Dungeon Fighter, you're a big fan of the Dungeon Fighter universe, but you're not a fan of Souls-likes and the difficult combat. You just find them, frustrating. Then there's an easy alternative for you to make the game a lot more accessible. That's why I wanted to show this game to you guys, because I think this game has options to appeal to everyone, and especially when we're in an age, where everyone's complaining about live service, nobody wants all these online games and stuff like that, and everybody wants more single player and dedicated stuff. Well, here we go. Here's a game that's in the Dungeon Fighter universe, a universe a lot of us MMO players love and enjoy, while also being a single player action RPG at the same time. Are you guys excited about the first Berserker Khazan? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.